like the brand that we're building, the rebel spirit of travel nursing, right? The mom and pop shop, the anti-Walmart travel nursing agency, the guys that make you feel like more than a chart number.
Thank you for joining me for another episode of On the Clock and Off the Record. Each episode is brought to you by Atlas MedStaff, unapologetically human. My guest this week is Jordan Tallman, founder and CEO of Wayward Medical Staffing. Jordan's one of those guys who didn't wait around for someone to hand him a playbook. He learned the business, saw the cracks, and said, you know what, I'm just going to do it myself. And that turned into Wayward Medical Staffing. If you spent any time at all in healthcare staffing, you can spot the founders who build something real, and Jordan sits in that group. He leans hard into YouTube and videos, just like we do, because he knows travelers want to see the person behind the company. He puts himself out there, shares the ups and downs, and talks through real-life situations. Travelers respond to that because it's honest, and they can tell he's been in that seat and he understands their world. Jordan, welcome to the show.
Man, that was a heck of an intro. I'm flattered, dude. It's definitely true that video first is the way of the future. I feel like not enough people are doing it, and Atlas is the number one agency on YouTube, and they're just, I feel like you guys have it together on that front, man, for sure.
Flattery will get you nowhere. Yeah.
No, it's true. It's true, because I admire you. I've been watching your stuff for a long time. The podcast, the videos, what's the coolest shoe for nurses to wear? I mean, you guys got a lot of stuff out there, and the hypodermics. Man, it's not just lip service, man. I've been watching.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. You want to give yourself a little introduction? And of course, I need your dog's introduction too.
Oh, she's sleeping. I don't want to wake her up, but her name is April. Hopefully she doesn't open up her eyes. But yeah, I am Jordan Tallman. I've been in the recruiting industry for probably 8 years now, 5 coming up on 6 as an entrepreneur, which is pretty cool. I got fired from 3 jobs in a row before I landed in travel nursing. And then I realized I loved it. It was great, but I still didn't like working for someone else. So I realized that I had to go off on my own and figure things out. So that's kind of where I'm at. The brand, Wayward Medical Staffing, we're a little different. I think it reflects my journey itself, and getting fired so many times, man, and not being able to work for people. I just want to take a different path. We're kind of the rebel crew, the mom and pop shop, the anti-Walmart of travel nursing, and we treat people like they're actual people, not just like another chart number. So that's where we're trying to distinguish ourselves. We're trying to be transparent with numbers, with pay rates, all that fun stuff. And I've got some videos on YouTube that people should go check out and see what I'm talking about, because we're trying to put my money where my mouth is.
We're going to get into all of that. Let's go on the clock. First question. You built Wayward Medical Staffing with a very intentional identity. What is the problem in travel healthcare that pushed you to create your own company?
Oh, man. Yeah, I mean, I just saw a lot of other recruiters on the floor who were employing some pretty bad practices. They were dodging tough questions. They were passing things off to, payroll, and, there was just straight up lies a lot of times. I don't want to name any names, but there's some pretty bad stuff out there. And I think leadership a lot of times doesn't realize what's happening. Nobody in leadership says, you got to lie to your candidates and, get them to go to the contract. But it does happen, I think, way more often than necessary. And I think a lot of travel nurses don't understand kind of how the machine works, why the agency is valuable, why the facility uses the agency, why they like using the agency. And so I try to, on YouTube, teach people how everything works so that they can make the best decision for themselves possible and kind of win the game, if that makes sense.
That totally makes sense. So that plays into question number 2 as well. So you talk about authenticity in staffing a lot in your videos, and you are personally very authentic in everything that you do online. I can see it. I know you, and I see the person online. It's the same exact person. How do you keep that alive in the industry that we're in today? You understand the question there is like, we're all pushing towards the same thing, right? How do you keep that authenticity alive?
Yeah, it's tough. I feel like every staffing agency is like a burger joint, right? If you could go to Burger King or McDonald's or Five Guys, but at the end of the day, you're going to get a burger and fries. And it's just what is the difference between those burgers and fries, right? Is it the value menu? Is it that the fries have awesome salt on them or something? Like, what is the difference between different agencies? And I think most agencies are really close to the chest with bill rates, how money works. They're scared that travelers won't understand how things work, and how would you say it? They'll rebel basically. Like if you tell them, hey, I'm making $100 an hour, and out of that $100, I'm giving you 85, they're going to be pissed off about that extra 15 bucks. And it's like, well, man, we've got malpractice insurance and all this stuff. And the way that I like to treat travelers is like they're intelligent people that they get it. Like a business they're working a job to earn a paycheck. They're not showing up for free either. So, I mean, it just kind of makes sense. So I think the way to keep that transparency, and the difference between us and everyone else, I guess you would say, is just to continuously reinforce that within our recruiters and make sure that the training is there for them so that travel nurses get an experience where they feel like a real person, if that makes sense.
That totally makes sense. Yep. Yeah. You're speaking my language there for sure. All right. Next question. When you're online a lot, right? People get to see the real you and they get to see the real company. How much of that is you and how much of that is brand strategy?
Oh man, I wish I could say it's 100% me, dude. I'm just the real guy, right? But then there's another part of me that's like, no, it's all strategy. I'm a strategic genius, man. I'm so smart. But really it's like, it's 50-50, man. Like you use what you have, right? And so because I am personable, I like being on camera, I like cool hats and dinosaur bones or whatever, right? Like we can use these kinds of things to our advantage. And so I base my content off of my personality and my strengths. And that's, I guess, how it came to be. It's kind of a get in where you fit in type of situation. That's how we landed in critical access travel nursing, is because when I first started back in 2020, I got a client at a big hospital. It was just me. I was the only guy, just a recruiter, doing credentialing, everything. And found this hospital. They asked me for a bunch of nurses, and I was just like, oh, I don't have anybody for you, man. Right. So I ended up, it was terrible. It was one of my biggest mistakes, man. I ghosted. I just put my tail between my legs and walked away. And if you're still watching, Kiefer, I'm so sorry, man. I'm sure you won't see this, but just throwing it out there. But yeah, I kind of realized like, man, you can't go over the big fish because you're not a big fish. So I tried to see, what facilities could I bring value to? And I ended up finding critical access. And critical access is really hard. Like you can't find housing. You can't find, I mean, the housing is so tough. And the nurses work like 3 different jobs basically. So they do ER, med surg, some long-term care. It's really tough to find somebody who will even take that position. And it ended up being a niche in itself. Like there are so many critical access nurses who absolutely love critical access because they like putting on those different thinking caps. They like the critical thinking skills that they have to use. A lot of times they'll be literally the only nurse on the floor and they have to be really confident in their skills. And so they're going out there, they're saving lives. And I feel like I'm going on way too many tangents right now. And I don't know where I'm supposed to land this plane.
You answered question 5 for me, which is awesome. Like I wanted to get to it. Like, I really wanted to understand why did you choose, and it makes perfect sense, right? It absolutely makes perfect sense. Is there, and I'll skip ahead to question 5. We'll go back to 4 here in a second. Is there a niche that you've now found after 5 years? So it's almost 6, right? You're going to be 6 years here in a little bit in critical access that says, no, I'm staying here. Like, because I have a feeling you've built enough right now in critical access that you could move to larger systems if you wanted to. Do you? And if not, why?
No, definitely not. Critical access is our bread and butter, but I feel good about critical access. Like I visit these hospitals, I shake the CEOs, the directors of nursing, our nurses' hands. I see where they work. And I see the difference that we make in the community, right? Like we exchange Christmas cards. It's like, I feel like I'm making a difference because a critical access is a town of 800 people, right? Like there's not even a nurse that lives in town. So they have to find somebody from somewhere else. And being able to do that, like people have healthcare because of us. Whereas like it's Los Angeles or something, there's a million nurses. Like it's not that big of a deal. And so I feel like I matter when I'm able to help this way, and the facility remembers my name and they know who we are. Like it's I don't know, it just feeds me, I guess you'd say.
It's one of those things that I've always believed, even going back to my client management days when I had, I had my set of hospitals that I worked with. I never wanted them to think I need a travel nurse. I want them to think I need to call Rich, right? I need to call Jordan, right? And have you gotten there yet with those? And it sounds like the answer is yes.
Yeah, I mean, they're coming to us for PRN, CT techs, a whole list of things. They're like, hey, do you guys do respiratory therapy, whatever? And yeah, I think not all of our clients are that way, but we're growing, and we're starting to make a splash. I'm really excited about it.
Nice. Excellent. All right, last question. And I know the answer to this because we talked about it offline. In your view, where are staffing companies wasting the most energy and time right now?
Oh man, AI. AI is a huge race. We're all trying to figure out what it is. I think it's this really cool tool that people are trying to like apply uses to it, right? And so it's not quite, there needs to be like a specific use case that makes the most sense, and then it gets applied. And so it's this huge race to figure out where the value is. And I kind of just want to sit back and see who finds the answer, and then like maybe I'll participate. But I've sat in on a lot of demos, and the ROI on all these demos and looking at these things just hasn't been there. I don't know if it's too early or if there's a bunch of hype around AI. I'm not like anti-AI or anything. I use ChatGPT all the time, a little Grok here and there. But yeah, it's been business-wise. Personally, it helps me with some branding stuff and getting messages and making content. But as far as like giving it to my recruiters, I don't know. We got to maybe train them how to use AI better so they can be better with their messaging possibly. But yeah, it's still a work in progress.
Totally. One of my good friends, Mark Hummel at Toro, has said this multiple times. That it feels like where we are right now, we're looking for a solution for maybe a problem that doesn't exist, rather than looking at the problem and then finding the solution. Right? If that makes sense, we're going the wrong way right now, and it feels a lot like 2000 and the tech bubble and and all of that. So I don't know. I guess you're right. We'll see when it integrates seamlessly into what our recruiters do, and they almost don't even know that it's there. That's how we know we've solved the problem. Right.
Yeah. No recruiter has come to me and been like, oh my God, this AI thing is so great. It's just not, it's not happened yet. So hopefully it does. I'm in the corner that we get better.
Let's go off the record. We're going to go. It'll be fun. Don't worry. It'll be fun. Before you did all of this, who were you?
Yeah. Well, I delivered pizza. I got out of college and nobody would hire me. I went on hundreds of interviews. I didn't have a car at the time, so I was just like on a bus. I would wear like the silver suit on the bus, and people would be like, man, you're dressed really well. And all these interviews, I was just like a young, well-dressed, handsome guy. I would get through to, and I was charismatic, whatever, right? And so I would get through to like the third round of every interview. So I was taking a bus from Tempe to North Phoenix. It's an hour and a half, just like terrible commute. I get through to the third round. They go like, hey, we really like you. You're cool, but we're just going to hire somebody that's done it before. Like, every time, man. So that drove me nuts for years. And so I was just like I was having a hard time I felt like college was kind of sold to me in a way that didn't make sense. They're just like, yeah, get a degree and you'll get a job. And it didn't really happen that way. For nurses, for doctors, for lawyers, I think it's a little different. Like you have to have a degree to advance your career, and it makes a ton of sense. But for a business degree, what does that mean, right? I guess I'm technically doing business now, but it's not because I did a project about marketing 10 years ago. It's because I just went into it myself. I'm a little jaded about college, if you can tell. Yeah. So that was kind of my genesis story. And then I was going around, I wasn't finding any of these jobs, right? Hundreds and hundreds of interviews for years. And eventually I started working with recruiters and asking them like, can you find me this? Can you find me that? And a bunch of these firms would be like, do you want to be a recruiter? And I would say, no, I don't. I want to do this other job. I hate sales. And eventually I got fired from one job, and the guy asked the recruiter, asked me like if I wanted to join the team because he liked my style and I did a good job here and blah blah blah. And I was just like, can you make six figures, man? Like, I don't know, dude. I don't want to work with you. And he's like, yeah, you can. And so, okay, I'll try it. Like, whatever. I'm done delivering pizzas. Like, let's just figure it out. And I've never looked back. It's been really great since then. I really love connecting with nurses. There's a lot of gossip that goes on, and when people are getting fired, and we've got some excellent stories. So I love what I do for sure.
For sure. This comes up a lot, right? And especially when we're doing interviews and that type of thing, like nobody leaves school and says, I want to be a nurse recruiter. Like that's not no one ever says that. And I didn't even know before I even got to the industry that it was even a thing. So you're right. We all have our own like weird path that we got to where we're doing, to what we're doing right now.
I will say that half the time I wish I was a nurse, man. I watched The Pitt, this new show on HBO. I would have loved this, dude. I don't know why I didn't even like consider going into the medical field. It looks awesome.
I've always said I belong on this side of the desk. I do not belong on that side. I could not do their job. Could not.
I'm not saying I can. I'm not, but like it would have been cool to learn. Maybe I don't know.
All right. Doing what you're doing is hard, right? Being an entrepreneur is hard. Starting your own business is hard. I speak from personal experience, right? Being an investor in businesses is hard. Has there ever been a time where you just wanted to walk away from it all? And if there was, why didn't you?
Yeah. I mean, there's been a few times, but I don't walk away because working for somebody else sucks, man. Like I just don't, it's not for me. This is Wayward Medical Staffing because I'm taking a different path and we're doing critical access, right? We're the rebel spirit of travel nursing. And that's kind of who I am at the core too. So it's kind of how much is strategic and how much is just you as the brand. It's a lot of both. And I think I don't want to work for other people. The funniest thing about not wanting to listen to managers and stuff is I find myself, now that I'm an entrepreneur, making all the same decisions that they told me to do when they were my boss, but only now that I'm doing them because it's my idea. Okay. Right. Like it's only because I said I'm going to do it, which just seems, I don't know, it's kind of a goofy thing about myself, but they were right. I was just an asshole. I think that's what it is, man.
I don't even think it's right. I think about that too. I go back to my medical solutions days, right? And I think, man, why did they make that decision? Like, what the hell is going on? And then I've made that exact same decision here because I understand it now. Like it makes total sense. The difference though is I'm going to be transparent with it. I'm going to tell them exactly why we're making this decision, right? And sometimes that's a hard thing to communicate. And I think right. I know you're probably in the exact same boat.
Getting there. I mean, we're still pretty small. I've just barely put a recruiting team together in the last year that I absolutely love. So I'm really excited about that. But yeah, I think there's going to be some tough conversations and some tough decisions to be had as the market goes on. But hopefully there's not going to be anything like meteors that hit the earth or civil wars or COVID things or anything like that anytime soon. So
right. No kidding. All right. What mistake did you make early on that ended up being a turning point for you? Or was there one?
Oh, yeah, definitely. I've been sober for like 4.5 years now. And it was because when I started my third week or something like that, my third week into starting Wayward Medical, I had made 4 or 5 placements. It was a Thursday. And I was like, dude, I'm an entrepreneur. I can do whatever I want. I'm just going to get super drunk tonight and whatever, man. I don't got to go to work tomorrow because I'm my own boss. And what ended up happening was one of the nurses didn't make it to their contract because they couldn't find it. They just needed my help. She called me like 16 times, but I had left my phone downstairs. I was drunk asleep upstairs. And then there's another nurse that had an issue, and it was just like a huge mess. And that was my crossroads. It was just like, okay, are we doing like this fun lifestyle business where you can make a couple of dollars? Or are you trying to build something that's significant, that actually helps people, that provides value to nurses, to the world, to critical access, rural hospitals that don't have help, right? And that was the biggest catalyst for me because, man, I love drinking, dude. Drinking is a lot of fun, but it's not for me anymore because I want to do something good for the world.
That makes sense. That makes total sense. I did not know that about you. That's awesome. Congratulations.
Oh, thank you, man. Yeah, it wasn't easy at first, but it's been really great since then. So I'm very excited about it.
Nice. All right. So when you think about Wayward, What makes you proud in a way that you don't necessarily say out loud?
What I'm proud of in a way that I don't always say out loud is like the brand that we're building, the rebel spirit of travel nursing, right? The mom and pop shop, the anti Walmart travel nursing agency, the guys that make you feel like more than a chart number. I know at Aya, you're one of 5,000, 10,000 nurses, and you can take it or leave it, right? With critical access, with Wayward, you matter to our bottom line. So we're going to move heaven and earth to make sure that you are taken care of. We're going to advocate for you. Like that's what's special here. And that's the different path. That's the Wayward way, so to speak.
Nice. That we have an Atlas way, right? I mean, that's you can identify that early on, and you don't need to put that bullshit on a wall, right? I mean,
Right.
I never ever want to see the Atlas way on a wall, because then it doesn't mean anything. But if you can identify that early on, and then you teach every single one of your recruiters that even though sometimes the Atlas way doesn't equal dollars, I'm sure sometimes the Wayward way doesn't equal dollars either, but that's okay because that's honest and that's who you are.
Right. Well, I think some of the bigger companies really lose sight of that. I won't name any names, but there was one recently that you're definitely familiar with that let go of their, I think it was like a gifting department. I can't remember the exact title, but they had a department specifically for buying birthday presents and,
Yep.
here's a candle. And they got sold to private equity, I believe. And then they let that whole department go. And I think private equity is just looking at Excel spreadsheets and seeing, hey, this is a lot of money that we're spending, nix it. And they're not realizing that it's the customer experience that they're nixing. That it's a lot more that goes to the bottom line than just numbers.
That's exactly right. It's so important. I know exactly who you're talking about. And if there is one department that I'm going to protect with everything that I have here at Atlas, it will be my experience department, because they are so key to our travelers' lives. And it isn't just, I mean, sometimes it is just a candle or remembering their birthday, or in our case, like their half birthday and, things like that. But making sure that they feel appreciated and seen, just making sure they feel seen while they're on a contract out there.
It sounds so little, but nobody does it. And it's such a big thing. It's crazy.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Last question and off the record. What is one part of your story that people never see but explains exactly who you are?
Yeah. So in high school, my senior year, graduation's coming up, and I had a big personality. So a lot of people knew me. A lot of teachers knew me that I didn't even, work with in school. And multiple of those teachers that weren't actually mine came up to me before graduation and said, hey, are you going to graduate? Are you going to make it? And I was like, dude, I'm an honor student. I've been an honor student since 6th grade, man. Yeah, I'm going to graduate. I'm going to college also. I'm like, what are you talking about, man? So I think that was funny. People just kind of overlook me a lot of times and think that I'm just this, athlete that plays just like a big personality. We'll just say they just think I'm like a big personality. And no, I'm actually like, I work hard. I'm pretty intelligent. I try to get shit done.
Awesome. All right. Let's rapid fire now. All right. So first question, in honor of Stephen Colbert, what sandwich is best?
Such a great question. Well, Thanksgiving just happened, so I'd have to say the ultimate Thanksgiving leftover sandwich. I sent it out in my newsletter, 5 for the Road, which is a newsletter. I know most newsletters suck, but this one's actually designed to make you cooler and smarter at the nurses station. So give it a check. You can sign up for it on the Wayward website. But the Thanksgiving leftover sandwich is by far the best. It's got skin on it. It's got cranberry sauce. It is high end for sure.
Awesome. What's the worst advice that you ever received?
Okay, the worst advice I ever received was common sense is a good thing. The thing about common sense is most people have it, most people do it, but I don't want common results. I want to do something that's a little better than the common. And so I don't want to do common sense. I want to do better.
My guilty pleasure is
so I've got this newsletter, 5 for the Road. It's designed to make you sound smarter and cooler at the nurses station. And I send a lot of memes. It's 5 quick things every week that we send out. And there's 4 memes and then usually like a bit of wisdom in there. And I'm just scrolling for memes all the time, making myself laugh. And so because I'm making myself laugh, I wanted to share that with some of the other nurses that we're talking to. And I think that's my guilty pleasure. So if you want to get in on my guilty pleasure, check it out on my website. It's 5 for the road, 5 FTR. Just sign up on the website. We'll see you there.
I was going to ask you that earlier. That's a good pitch right there. Thank you.
Thanks, man.
All right.
I accidentally stumbled onto it, but yeah.
That's awesome. The most used app on your phone is?
Oh, I mean, does every agency owner say the same thing? It's the email app. It's got to be checking your emails all the time for sure.
You'd be surprised. A lot of people say TikTok. I don't know. Maybe it's a time waster. I don't know. But
yeah. I'm constantly like refreshing my email to see like, hey, is there another offer coming in? Do we get Johnny a contract somewhere?
That's how I know it's real to you, because you still get that rush out of the offer email, right? You get the email that says offer in big letters. And
yeah. Yes. That's the dopamine hit for me. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
There you go. All right. Last question. The industry would be better if?
I think recruiting training was improved. I think that's the biggest place that RNs get miffed, is recruiters fail to set expectations. And I think nurses, a lot of times, veterans are really well informed on how travel nursing works, but it's only because they've got the scars and they've gone through all the BS to figure out how it works. But I think if just from the very beginning, nurses were educated, informed, whatever, on, hey, here's how the machine works. This is what a bill rate is. This is how much you get paid from the bill rate. You can negotiate on this. Here's the time where you have leverage to negotiate. Here's what you can say that will make an agency want to give you more money. If they knew these things off the jump, I think the nurses would be happier. I think the agencies would actually appreciate it too. I know there's a lot of recruiters out there who are scared of their nurses negotiating with them because they want to keep all the money for themselves. But I love negotiating with nurses because, like, it's a trade, right? You want more money. Okay, well, I want a clinician who's going to go to the facility and take care of the facility and give Wayward a good name. And so if we can trade those two things, I'll give you more money. Like, just go take care of them. And yeah, like, this is every time. Let's do negotiation.
Or extend one time, right? Be so awesome that they don't want you to leave. And that's what we both want too, right? They want to be so good at their job that they're going to be missed when they're gone, right? And they give the absolute best patient care. And I want them to be so good at their job that they stay there for as absolutely long as possible.
Yeah, no, exactly, man. I mean, that's the 2 biggest compliments that you could give your travel nursing agency is an extension or a referral. I mean, those are bar none.
So, Jordan, you made it. Let the people know, where can they find you? Especially where can they find your videos?
Yeah, definitely. So the YouTube channel is called Travel Nurse Playbook. I'm an agency owner who tries to educate the market and make sure that nurses can win based off of the information. We want to see what's inside the machine, behind the curtain. We pull it back, and we teach people how to negotiate and earn more money for their paychecks. That's Travel Nurse Playbook on YouTube. Our website's waywardmedical.com, and our newsletter is 5 for the Road. You can sign up on YouTube or on our website, waywardmedical.com. We'll see you guys there.
Jordan, thank you so much. You're my first agency owner that's been on the podcast. So I really appreciate you being on and being vulnerable with me, right? I mean, I think that there's a lot of things that we've talked about through this that maybe others wouldn't necessarily, but it goes back to my intro that you are who you are. You're honest. You're a founder that wants to succeed, and you want to succeed for the right reasons. So I appreciate you saying yes, and I appreciate you being on with me today.
I'm honored, man. I've been watching the content for a long time. This is a treat for me. Thank you so much.
All right. We'll see you next time. Join us for our next episode where we talk to another industry insider about the staffing world.